agree that China needs investment in the BRI or otherwise it'll collapse, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened to the last aspiring or global hegemon whose economy collapsed? What happened to their global ambitions?
I mean, like, it depends on
Who are
who's
you
the
talking
last.
about?
Soviet Union.
I mean, like, the U.S. is also a global hegemon.
Right, but our economy didn't collapse. What happened to the Soviet Union's global ambitions when their economy collapsed?
I mean, let's look to what's going on in Russia right now, right?
I responded to the Russia example.
Yeah.
We would say that
No,
Russia's a
but-
pretty bad example.
No, we would say that Russia is a good example right now. You're talking about the Soviet Union. I'm talking about modern day Russia. Russia right now has seen insane inflation. Oil prices are just like tanking their economy. Yet Putin's main goal is to expand militarily. He's investing into his military.
Right, so Nanika, I agree with you, but the problem is that Putin only has control over like Ukraine and a couple of tiny states
Like-
in
Wait, he
Eastern
annexed-
I
Europe.
mean, like, he literally
Yeah,
like,
that's
took
one
over
country,
Crimea,
that's
like, he
one
like,
country.
walked over a country.
That
Look,
was
wait,
breaking
can I-
international
Yeah,
law.
that is
That's
a
not
huge
just that's
violation.
small.
It's
But
literally
there's
an invasion.
there's a very large distinction between that and having literally control over the entire world.
Yeah, because
which is
China's
something that you
economy is
can
doing a
only-
lot better than Russia's is. Even if
Right,
it's
but you
slowing
just-
down,
but you
it's
just-
not slowing down to the point where they're
But
literally on
what
like
you
a
just-
collapse.
But Anika, what you just agreed with me was that the BRI will collapse if it doesn't have any money.
The
and
BRI
the only way
will
to
collapse,
expand,
which is why China strategically, well, I mean, China in
if you
general.
don't have the BRI, you can't increase your global control. Like that's the entire point of the BRI.
But it like also crucially misses the warrant that like this is for scapegoating because he knows that the economy is going down. So right now he's setting the
But you
stage
just
that way he
agreed
can
with me
control
that
security.
they need the funding needs to
No,
need
right?
funding
You
for
like
the
they need
BRI.
funding. We're saying the reason as to why right now they're able to like finance security even though the economy is decreasing is because it's a scapegoat mechanism for Xi to then say, look, the economy is fluctuating in the short term because of retaliation from the
So-
West, but we are much stronger. That's how he
Cal.
bolsters nationalism. That's been in rebuttal and in summary, and it hasn't been responded.
Let me ask
to.
you a very simple question. Would Xi Jinping rather use the scapegoat argument to prop up his support, or would he rather have citizens who are wealthy who approve his support?
Well, I would say probably the first one.
Yeah. Also, like
Really?
Yeah.
also
because-
just like
So can you give me an
economic
example
equality
of,
in
can you
China
give me an
isn't
example
like
of
a
a
thing that they
wealthy,
worry about. Like,
stable, developed nation that
No,
uses
like,
a scapegoat argument?
Xi,
Wait.
one, he doesn't have to face elections, so he
Yeah.
doesn't need a wealthy electorate to vote
That-
for
okay,
him.
but
and
he is
two,
worried about
like,
people rising up
China
in the
historically
streets.
neglects the impoverished people in their country. Look at the East-West
raised
divide in
800
China,
million
right?
people
He's
out of
not
poverty.
he's not worried about the wealth of his constituents. He's not worried about the wealth of his people. Rather, he's worried about being able to maintain a security state and continue expanding. That's why even with the face of a slowing economy, they continue to expand in
Okay,
the South China
okay,
Sea.
we can
They
move on.
continue to expand investment abroad. That's the argument. But then, back on your case, right? So you go for this idea, you basically say that like right now we're going to see more connectivity, which means more success. So like why does China like what does that warrant mean? What does it mean to just be like, okay, China's
Means
seizing
you
the long
build
term
more power grids, which means
Okay.
that more places are interconnected.
And so
which
those
means
power
more trade
grids,
and
right,
China
in your
makes more
warrant you
money.
read that they're dependent
That's the
upon the
warrant.
railways.
Sorry.
It's time.